Save your legacy.
Yeah. Hey guys, welcome to the Tribe UG podcast, episode number 2. Shout outs to everyone who tuned in last week, everyone who listened, everyone who gave us feedback, and everyone who unfollowed us after listening in.
Things are rough.
Things are rough, but we have to keep moving. And yeah, man, welcome to episode 2. Guys, how are we feeling?
Well, we're ready because I feel like there's a few more unfollows coming through. But I feel like since this time we're going for the new guys or the guys that the guys whose names some people might not have had, maybe they've not yet followed us, so at least we can save a few unfollows.
Yeah, but also anyone unfollowing needs to be strategic. Unfollow everybody, because if you unfollow him and you still follow me, going to retweet his shit.
It's still going to appear.
Shout outs to Les, who is on a diplomatic journey. We sent him to States to do some research on Jay-Z's deal with Moet. And then Maweti, actually, not Maweti. And then also to find out details on the Bobby Shmurda release. So when he comes back, he'll be giving us a full report.
Updates.
So yeah, today we are back again to elevate the game. And today we are going to talk about rappers whom we think
Up and coming.
We think if they continue doing what they do, they're going to have a good year. They're going to have a bright future. Something along that line.
Bright future is relative.
Explain.
I don't know. Like, some of the guys on the list will have a bright future in accounting, entrepreneurship.
Wow.
And the other guy whom you try to go try farming.
Guys are going to be on them spreadsheets again. Let's go.
Yeah, so again, we are going to start from the bottom. Now we're here. And starting from the bottom, we have a gentleman called Naxa. Naxa, for those who are just hearing his name for the first time, Naxa, to me, is one of the hardest working guys among the new guys. He has, I think, 2 albums, and even this year he put out an EP. He's a person who associates and identifies as a gospel rapper, but his energy, his music cuts across, and you should check out a couple of his albums. And my favorite album of his is Changes, and you can grab it on Tidal. Shout out to Tidal, but we have a sponsorship. But I don't know how you guys feel about his music, his branding, his packaging altogether.
Music, branding. I didn't know this guy until 2 weeks ago. So in terms of branding, I don't see any branding. Yeah. But listening to him as an artist, he's quite frankly forgettable. Because it's first of all, having listened to him just 2 weeks ago and taken some time to listen to some of his stuff, it comes from a place of, in the moment of listening to him, I was like, he's good. After that, I didn't feel like I want to go back and listen to his stuff again. But it's more from a place of, again, the branding. I cannot listen to your music in 2 weeks and appreciate your whole effort and the years you've put in. So as much as I feel like maybe he could be onto something, but you need to brand. You need to get your stuff out there. I know they're going to still give that excuse of, no, this kind of craft is not really pushed here, but you as an artist, what are you doing to get us to know your stuff?
So last time I had a chat with him, apart from this whole digital distribution, the Tidal situation, the Power situation, he also has his own platform. He sells his own music on his own platform.
He's on some Ryan Leslie stuff.
Exactly. He has a website, and then also on top of the music, he also sells merch. So personally, I think it goes back to that thing of guys identifying as gospel rappers and keeping it within their churches. So we find that only guys in that crowd or guys in those circles.
Yeah.
They are the only ones who know them.
Well, for me, the first time I heard him was last year in that phase of that early lockdown where we had the UG hip hop lockdown. Tribe. I mean, we last time we mentioned some of the stuff that the tribe has done, and here we are with another platform where some of these guys, actually a number of the young guys on this list did submit something for that as well. So that's pretty dope. For me, who was home doing nothing, it was a moment to get familiar with some of them. So yes, I listened to him then. It was interesting because he's a gospel rapper, but there's a way he's aggressive with it. It's not on this.
It took me a while to figure out that he was doing gospel. I felt like maybe this guy likes God, so once in a while he'll drop in a God thing. But I'm like, so realizing that he was gospel, I'm like, this is refreshing. It's not
actually I would say inspirational music. Gospel. Same. A Muslim rapper might feel sidelined with so gospel.
He was. So there's that. But where I'll agree with Ian though is when I listen to his albums, because I listen to them. When you listen start to finish, you're going to maybe appreciate what the artist does. Maybe you're going to check out their versatility, see the ups and downs in the movement of their music. I didn't get much of that, and so I don't get to go back let me first go back and listen to this song that I heard. When you listen to that album, you're like, there's that song where you might even first replay it before you move on to the next. I didn't get that moment within his music, but overall it's dope. But there needs to be a little bit more for us to, get at it. And in terms of what Ian said with regard to pushing and what Felix complimented, saying, he may be keeping it within their WhatsApp group. But, if you're doing this, it's good to be, it's good for me to listen to who? Are we allowed to talk about R. Kelly? But still, when you listen to that normal R&B song, and typical this and this, and then you go into one of those "You Saved Me" where it's more on the, or if you're listening to, again, if we're going to bring it back to UG, we all know, the Myth had an album. You may have had this other song where he's talking about the other Kobusinja. In the other song, it's all Amen. So you know what I'm saying? You can give us the gospel and all, but you can still let it cut across to other people. You can let other people appreciate. There's since I said okay, still there's many of those artists. You do a song that's gospel, but it cuts across. It's still favorable for it still rings true to the rest of us.
It's still R. Kelly though.
I was going to say, but hey, but there's a bunch of those. So I don't think they need to. Again, I'm not saying that's all he does, but I'd like for some of these people to reach out there, because that might actually improve their craft. Because if they know that this person is not going to just like me simply because I'm a gospel rapper or an inspirational music artist, I have to make that inspiration reach. I have to make it ring. So maybe I have to work harder to make it cut across.
Okay. So Naxa, take the message, take the words of wisdom, and you do what you gotta do, but we are keeping an eye on you, and we are looking forward to most of the new work you're going to drop. We move on to the next name, Nickarma Nox. Personally, I discovered him during the MTN Cypher competition. I think it was number 3. What he did stood out for me, and I kept an eye on him. And ever since then, he has been dropping songs here and there.
MTN Cypher, which one is that?
The one of 20...
The one for the Hip Hop Awards?
Yes, for Hip Hop Awards.
The Tribe BG ones?
Yes, They gotta know. Sorry. So we kept an eye on him, and he has been dropping verses, songs here and there. He also came through to the MTN Pulse Rap Battles competition. He was one of the final finalists. And I think after the Pulse Rap Battle finalists, then lockdown happened. Then lockdown again, the UG Pop lockdown beat came out. He did something that was pretty much dope. And for me, I think he has a bright future if he keeps at it.
What position did he finish for?
Yeah. So I don't know, you guys, if you listen to his music, what do you get out of it? And you think he has a future?
I think it does, but he's you can tell he's idol.
Is it what?
You can tell he's idol.
Who is the idol?
He's Ecee.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and the thing is,
does he? Okay, he uses so much auto tune. I don't.
But Nickarma Nox uses a whole lot of auto tune.
In one of his songs.
What do you mean? The Tribe UG lockdown thing. The first thing we hear is oh, as if T-Pain.
Nickarma is just next to Nick Cannon. Is that a different out here?
So your rap career will be like Nick Cannon's?
Nick Cannon is a billionaire. I said that from one now.
I said rap career. No, but what Ian said about the idol situation, that next song. So, like, I listened to it. I'm like, this is actually dope. Well, sounds nice. It's you know, you can roll with that. You can start from there. You can build on that.
Yeah.
But and it fits today's topic because it's next. I'm next. I got next in this.
Yeah.
But if Ian says, and you know, I hadn't even thought of the AKA thing. Then Ian said it, and I couldn't unhear it. Like it was right there. And
what if AKA could
With this guy.
like at 3 a.m. AKA is out there doing research and he landed on Nickarma's content.
Let me buy
let me buy this kid, like yo.
No, but you see, like the issue for me is whenever people do that, or whenever it may not be intentional, he may be, you know these things, you know, you pick up a bit of inspiration here and there and it sticks. But the issue with it for me is, again, you will excuse me for these R&B references, but it's like I don't listen to August because if you're going to sound like Chris Brown and Trey, I'm going to listen to Chris Brown and freaking Trey. There's no reason for me to listen to you. Like, why am I listening to you? What are you bringing?
That's how I feel about, what's that guy? Jason Derulo's music videos. And
yes,
dancing.
his
like,
video. Oh my God, I can pull out full on. Let me not even get it. I tell you, full on scenes from another. So that's the thing.
But you know, Jason Derulo
great.
is a hard worker.
Jason Derulo.
He's that guy in the basketball team who comes wearing all the the gear. You know those guys.
He's going to have all the gear,
headband, the armband, the shoes. He's going to do all that.
Only to deliver nothing.
No, like
anyway.
if he's sick, you won't miss him. But when he's there, you're like, this guy is here.
No, but like, yeah, so that's the small issue with. But man, he's not bad. It's just if you give me a reason to come back to you, like why will I come back to your music? Give me. But I don't mind his work. I mean, like I said, that next song was dope. The video is, you know, he's putting in the work.
Yeah.
Some of the, like many of these guys on this list don't have videos. So, you know, he's putting in his work. He's he's getting his. But you know, what next? So yeah.
By the way, guys, these names, they are not in any order. These are just names we pulled out of our hearts. And
For a moment there, nigga, you better not.
But it goes out.
Anyway.
Oh man, let's this to come back. We need some intelligence on the podcast. All these niggas are fun. Yeah, but yeah, this is not in a particular order. These are just guys we think that next up, and they have a solid standing in the game. Motwoonoh. By the way, like I was going to say a quarter of the four homies, and then I asked myself, what if the four homies are not actually four homies? Like, in a group, there are like three guys. The fourth guy is like in spirit or something.
They may be like Southie Soul with that fourth silent guy.
Hey, like the fourth guy is just there giving moral support.
Oh, it's the guy with the money.
Yeah, those things.
If you're forming the group, you have to put him.
He's that guy where you're playing football with him. You have to play because the ball is his.
And that was Hagai back in primary. He was trash, and he used to call himself Beckham, but since he had the ball, guys had to be like, yeah.
And all the gear.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, Motwoonoh, what do we think about this guy?
Motwoonoh is like, who is his target audience? Is he appealing to you know, the industry here, as much as people say we are biased, the artists need to understand that they need to baby step us out of the bias.
Oh.
So if you're going to produce music, because on Man Like M, you're sounding so British,
British.
Yeah, I might as well listen to Stormzy and the other guys. But the thing is, I get what you're trying to do is really dope.
When man like came to you, he sounded British.
Yeah.
Chill the man.
To you, he sounded like
No, like you could
British.
see where he was, what he was trying to do.
Inspiration
Yeah,
instead
the
of
same way. The same way there's those jams Drake does, and you're like, guy, like we know you're
Looking
British
like
rappers,
Yusuf,
that's the
looking
thing.
like Hamza.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's dope, but in a way of who is your target audience, and if you're really producing for this market, you need to understand that we are biased. We've always been biased. It's just now that guys are starting to wake up. But if you must wake us up, you have to take it one day at a time. You cannot wake up one day and you're just throwing jams that sound so foreign. We're going to resist it.
And speaking of bias, I feel like English rappers have always had to prove themselves like
So already you're taking on a group that has struggled in its own way.
like I'm original, that like this is me, this is what I do. I'm not trying to copy any guy from States or anything like that.
Yep. But you see, the challenge with that also is you're trying to copy someone. Like you convince us that you're trying to be original, and we can probably see it in your art because you must be inspired by someone, obviously. But if you're trying to do their art and branch out and do your own art, at some point you're Ugandan still. Remember, that's a fact. You're a Ugandan artist and you're trying to be relevant in Uganda. So at what point do we connect with your music?
Like your Ugandan like accent will slide through, like so you said,
You've just reminded me of one of my favorite jams. I promise this R&B reference thing, I promise, it's not intentional.
No,
but
it's okay. We know.
Of Kenneth Mugabe, which is like,
I thought you were going for
I've
my
kept it
chorus.
UG, I've kept it UG. Hey, let's stay in character. There's no favorite jam there. Anyway, one of my favorite jams of Kenneth Mugabe, Ileng, on his first album, and the man, he starts his like, just like the sun, and saying all these beautiful words and everything is so articulate and so whatever. And he says, I will go around looking for that comfortable. Like when the Ugandan and they checked it, I was like, yes. Like, and for me, it was such a moment, like, bring it home. Because like the first sense is like, when you give me us with that comfortable, I was like, yeah, here we go.
Yeah, and you see the challenge we have here. People don't have, Nigerians do their Nigerian English, and it's still
They're
dope.
yeah,
but here,
in English. Yeah.
someone will listen to the track, tell the guy, let's redo that part.
Because I said comfortable.
Exactly. But these guys here, if you're inspired by a British rapper, but you still drop your comfortable there, it's coward.
Personally,
It's a mad thing.
for me, Motwoonoh, man, I think the kid is pretty talented. Like, for me, easy. I'd like to hate and be like you're trash, because it's more fun that way, like we said. But the kid is good. Although I find maybe he did do the whole For Me's album thing, and he did have a nomination for the Rookie of the Year in the UG Hip Hop Awards. He has done a few shows here and there, a few performances. But in terms of music, if we're looking at this of today's list, I struggled finding his music, and that's not cool. So if you're going to be, if in my opinion you're one of the better ones, or you're talented, or you're whatever, I shouldn't struggle, man. I want the damn music. Like, I want it there. If I have to struggle, I'm moving on. Why don't I go to the one who I can find? Like, why am I going to hustle looking for your stuff when I can get this one real quick? True. So other than that, man, I think
like to sort of like clarify for guys, when you say you struggle to get their stuff. Like we know what you mean, but for them they might not know.
Okay, let me say. I'll give you an example. All the people we mentioned on the list so far, we had access to their music on Tidal, on YouTube, different platforms whereby you're like, let me just search and I find.
Yeah.
You understand? Like, I don't want to start looking. Just search, find. For Motwoonoh, first of all, you have to, like, a couple of songs are on. First of all, there's no, how do I say, consistency in the placement. There's a couple of songs on SoundCloud. Then there's the Four Homies project is on Tidal, but none of his actual music.
You see what you said. The fourth dude does money, so you might find he put
The fourth guy and then like I think YouTube. I think Ian searched and didn't find it on YouTube, and that's get the platforms ready, get that, consistency in placement, let it be easy,
And that's quite overwhelming for most of these guys. I don't want, because ever since we got into this, I had to download SoundCloud again. I have AudioMac again. I have, Tidal has always been there, and YouTube and all of that, but I don't have to get, what's that old thing we use, Reverb Nation. I don't have to look for it because that's why your music is
like most of their old rappers.
Yeah,
their Reverb Nation era, like that was their era. Like
lyrical proof.
Yes, the man had over like 65 songs on that thing.
Oh, 200, but let's go.
200, but who's counting?
No album. But anyway.
Yeah, so guys, make your music accessible, cater for different listeners use different platforms.
And Tidal has made things easy.
Especially for UG, because they tailored. Give that advert when they give us command.
So in case anyone from M10 is listening in, we support you all, so we return the favor small. The next rapper, Ecee. I have to be honest, I didn't know this kid until it was brought to my attention a month or so ago, but even when they mentioned him, I never bothered checking him out till he became a strong content for this list. So me, I have nothing much to say. Best of what I listened, I feel like he is pretty much at the start of his journey.
Yeah.
And it's a good start, because normally guys start in a shaky way, but for him you can see he's a bit consistent, and there is a visual aspect to it, because our rappers struggle with visuals. But for him you can see he's putting in, even if it's one camera, even if it's one location, at least he can put the face to the music so that people can see and know who he is.
Yeah, but in this era of 4K on smartphones, it honestly shouldn't be that hard.
You think everyone has the money to own the kind of smartphones you own?
Everyone should have rich friends like the
phone. The fourth guy of the phone is, if you're listening, our email is open. You can buy this podcast, so send us something.
No, you see, the thing is, there is that there's a Stormzy video, I forget what it is, but he's on one street with a bunch of guys and it's just one long shot. But you see, the thing is, if the music is fire, we need some kind of visual. But you see, now guys like Ecee, like, it doesn't matter whether it's one location, one camera, and you just keep flipping. You're on the right, he's on the left. But the thing is, he's putting in effort. But you see, a lot of these guys who have even way better music, besides listening to it, that's it. Because I can spend time at home when I'm bored, and I go to YouTube and watch some of your stuff. But it's going to be hard for me to constantly just keep chasing you, and I don't know what you look like. I'm just listening to your stuff. But if you even if it's just you on a balcony with your technophone,
on a balcony on your technophone and
you see your
sisters and brothers at home.
Like, it's something. It's just, I feel like we need to stop taking this stuff for granted, because I watched some of his videos as well, and it's not even smartphone for 4K. I don't know what he uses to record, but you can see there is effort.
I will join that, whatever. One of the things that I like about him is the effort as well. You see, many of these guys, again, they've been at it for longer than him. Like Felix said, this is something that just popped up maybe a month ago or so, maybe two. But even at the time, even for this list, because we came up with this list when? 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
And even then, there's been a video since.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah. And yes, that one location, I think it's even a dope location, that newspaper on the wall thing. But but for me, that's the thing. It's what are you doing? Like, okay, you're good. Cool. This guy is not as good as you per se, but he's putting in more work. And maybe he's going to grow more. Maybe he's going to go further. He's put together some, like, I don't know if it was an EP or a mixtape or whatever it was. YouTube, nice visuals, nice graphics. I think this guy is into some graphic work, some IT stuffs, because I see, like, his YouTube channel has a lot of nice edits. Yeah. Even I checked out his Instagram yesterday, I think, and I was like, this gentleman, and that's as a beginner.
Yeah.
That says a lot to maybe the branding that might happen moving forward.
Yeah, even the artwork.
The artwork. He had a lot of good. That's what I'm saying. There might be some guy IT touch. And that's the thing, guys. use that friend of yours. Your money was doing that comp science.
The guy with money.
The guy with money. Not just the guy with money, the guy with his skill. But use that stuff.
Hey, there's that guy with a MacBook.
Because, man, the problem is...
You know, you said one location and one camera. I want to shout out the rapper who is going to fire back and say, Enga, you shoot your podcast from one location.
Last week, in other location. It's just that small. Nah, that one location isn't the problem. It's, do it right, get it right. It's right. But in terms of other people's work, I don't think other people are as, some of these youngers be not, where your friends tell you you're dope. Man, we can all have our yes men, but it's not enough.
Mark is the worst.
I'll never be that.
The worst yes man or
the worst, he will not be a yes man.
I can never be.
Even if your life depends on it.
So, is he a good wing man?
Hey, where have we gone? The man is married. He knows nothing about
No. I know. Before I was married.
Yeah.
You see, Mark was the type be like, I'm trying to holler at this chick. Okay. What up? You discourage you. Hey, we were hanging out last time here and came with some random thing.
And you always knows the conversation.
Man, and yet she had dressed up. You're feeling fly.
But last time you were with a late conversation before you were married. When we were at Oktoberfest.
Let me ask, when the wife came around, did you be like, hey, who is this conversation? You were like, hey, who is? Or you were like, this is our wife you talked about.
We had encountered wifey, so we knew.
So you knew how to act and how to say.
Wife is cool people, so she's easy to talk to.
Man, shout out to wifey, man.
The man is now feeding.
Yeah.
He has always wanted to gain weight. Maybe now he finally will.
Yeah, but this weight is a peace of mind.
They don't ask you for transport money anymore.
No transport money. You complained how you had no breakfast.
Why are you telling people I had no breakfast? Guys, come on. That rich girl for me, send breakfast.
You're all a big nonsense.
Yeah. So we move on to the next guy.
We are closing down the list real quick, but
next
there's
guy,
people that have a lot of work coming up ahead. Next on the list, we have Dagg Mizzo. Now, first of all, before we go anywhere, we've talked about this whole UG hip hop lockdown situation. Dagg Mizzo gave us that beat.
Yeah,
he brought it because that beat, the beat is lit.
Dagg Mizzo was instrumental in making sure the UG hip hop lockdown thing was successful because he gave us the instrumental bass guy. Punchline.
We got it the first time. Didn't have to repeat.
I had to repeat for the people. I had to repeat for the people at home so they know what it is, what it does. They know what time it is. Yeah, but he has been that guy. Even I think I don't want to shoot myself here, but I think he gave us an MTN Cypher beat for one of the awards. Yeah, so he has been that guy.
He's a producer as well.
He's a producer as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where it is.
So me personally, the reason that's why I think he should be on the list or why he should be on the list, he has work. He has been putting in work. He has the content. He has the consistency. He has a mixtape called Kingdom Come, and there's a track on there called Via Yanga. It's one of my favorite tracks out there by Dagg Mizzo. And the fact that he has a couple of features on the gospel ciphers and all the red cipher by Shadrach and Josh SB. So me, I rank him not only as a rapper but also as a producer. That's why for me he made this list, because as a rapper, sometimes you're supposed to sort of like improve your skill and double into production. Because at the end of the day, no one feels the music like the way you feel it.
No one knows your sound like you would.
Yes. So the fact that he's able to do that and then also able to produce for other guys and produce for them dope stuff, I think he's one of the guys that we should look out for in the coming years or even months. He's going to be that guy.
In his case, I'll try to be brief. I don't want to be those guys who give a speech at a wedding and be like, me, mine is going to be brief. 3 hours later, you're still hungry. But Dagg Mizzo, in terms of his production, I think it's pretty dope. It's the same thing with, I know like even Motwoonoh does a bit of those. So, like you said, when these kids put in that work, it makes it easier. Well, I'm not saying he's a champ, but yeah, it makes it easier for them to, and I guess that's part of why he has all that music available. If he's able to come up with the beats himself, next thing you know, you're writing to it, you're recording, you've put it out there. His Kingdom Come project for me was the better one. I tried to listen to that Divine Wild Extraordinaire, whatever. I don't know. But I must admit I struggled for that one. I made it all the way through, but I struggled. So Kingdom Come, I felt better. But, if the work keeps, that's the thing. There has to be growth. Yeah. Not everyone comes up with debut album is the one. No. If the work keeps coming, then maybe, you never know. Shilavna. With Ru. That song. That was dope. Yeah. Of course, the problem is after when Ru's verse checks in, you're like, hey, Posey, who has won that start? But no. But yeah, that's now a doper song, and maybe the doper collaborations might help out because sometimes you need someone else next to you to elevate your game. I think Ian actually mentioned this earlier. Some of these collaborations allow these artists to put in the work and be like, if I'm going to be rapping next to X and Y, I better elevate. So yeah, but otherwise, I struggled with the first. I did better with the second. So maybe maybe there's more coming that might ring better bells.
So who produced his project?
Himself.
I think he's better off as a producer. Not to sound. I feel like sometimes artists, as much as you may want to be at the forefront, but sometimes you need to realize where your strengths are and capitalize on that. You can still do the rap.
He might be a genius like Kanye. So Kanye was told he can't rap at first.
He might be. Let me give a situation of Ryan Leslie. I'm a huge fan of Ryan Leslie.
Yep, same.
Yeah, and you see, Ryan Leslie, to be honest, is a better producer than a rapper. But he produces his own music, and the music is so good. But when you listen to it, you're like, this is good, but Ryan, I'm a huge fan. I'll still consume whatever you put out. But I feel like his production would go to better use given to a more capable artist. But you can still do it because, you're able. You're a genius. You can produce, you can rap. But at the same time, you need to recognize where the power lies and try to push that envelope more than the other. Because I didn't know this background that he's a producer as well. So for me, listening to his projects, I can say he's forgettable as well. But in a way of now that I understand he produces, I appreciate the balancing that both he's trying to do as a producer and as an artist. But to kind of a more strategic approach would be to harness the production, be a master at it, but at the same time be like, I still rap on the side. Because I feel like now, like me who didn't know his background, who feels like he's forgettable, how many me's are out there? And if you're going to jump in the industry to compete, not everyone knows your story. We're all going to judge you from what you're displaying. Yeah. So for me, it's you say he produced his music. Yeah. Production was great. I think energy needs to be channeled more towards production.
I think I'll let him improve his writing. I still want him to rap, You still need him to rap.
Yeah, so you also agree
with that?
Because writing is part of being an artist. If you're a rapper, writing is literally
it's everything.
It's everything. I think he's a dope producer. I think he's a dope producer.
That has not been
But instead of him quitting, instead of him quitting and giving up on the rapping thing, let him just improve his writing, and then probably a few years down the road we'll be like, okay, he managed to level up.
Yeah, but we're still judging him as the situation right now.
As the situation right now, I enjoy him. I enjoy him when he's producing. I enjoy him when he's rapping.
But you said he needs to improve the writing. So you agree that there's a strength and a weakness.
from the observations that have been submitted to our panel, from the observations that have been submitted to our panel, because
you're being
like
too
Mark,
civil.
like Mark,
future beats for future ciphers.
like Mark said that he struggled with a couple of his projects.
Yeah,
and I won't lie, not all his projects are great, but like I said in my comments earlier, I enjoyed Be Young out of his Kingdom Come project.
Yeah.
And again, I can't give you a song I enjoyed on his extraordinary project.
Rap behind.
So, oh wow. wow.
Anyway.
You see, so again, you agree with.
I don't agree with you.
You don't agree because look. You see, the thing is, these artists who listen to this podcast, they need to understand one thing: the criticism is not meant to crush you. We're not your haters. I don't know most of you guys, and I honestly don't care about you. You get, but not in a way of trying to be a hater, but in a way of, if the music is good, we'll hype it. If the music is good, I'll say it. But if I feel like you're lacking, I don't want to be that guy that's going to tell you you're good, yet you're not, and then you take your stuff out there and get embarrassed.
And then people say this is Ian's friend.
Exactly. No, it's the same thing. It's the same thing I do with when people ask me to recommend a car. I don't care how popular it is. If I think it's trash, I will tell you. So that when you buy it and along the road you realize it's trash, you're like,
when you're driving it along the road.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, if you're driving a car and I've recommended it and you're like, this is a really good car, it's fast, it's comfortable, Ian's recommendation. If you tell your homies I recommended it,
that comfortable.
I want to. So same thing with the music. If the music is good, we'll hype it. If it's lacking, we'll point out these areas, because at the end of the day, what the tribe is trying to do is to make the industry grow. We're not trying to
stunt it.
Yeah.
The good thing is, like we've said growth. I think there's room for growth, and I feel like he can put in the work. He's clearly a hard worker.
Yeah.
He can get there. So I think he can do the thing. He can do the team.
Yeah. So Les, I was going to say Les. Yeah, but shout out to Les.
The next on the list.
Yes. The next on the list, Mr. Lean. Man, that dude is confusing. Is he called Young Lean? He's called Mr. Lean.
Mr. Lean.
That miniskirt video though.
Miniskirt.
Miniskirt.
Bro, it's lit.
I think half the budget went to the big sets.
He was in a country where such women are in abundance.
You don't have to source them.
Yeah, you don't have to source them. But with that said, I still think Ugandan women are the most prettiest women on planet Earth.
Of course.
But you know, Mark is European, so he can't say anything.
UG is where we're at.
Yeah. So Mr. Lean.
But wait, you're accusing Mark. Mark usually hangs with foreign chicks, man.
Mark is a diplomat sent to UG on a diplomatic mission. Along the way, I adopted a name to blend in.
I'm a spy.
Yeah.
You know, last time I was going to hang with Mark, he came in a drone.
You're all idiots.
Wow. And this is before drones were. Drones, like Mark's on a future.
You're all idiots.
He's got side business. He's under top.
Now people are going to think I have drones that I move in. Like it's and then I'll be like those rappers who be like, I pulled up in my Ferrari.
Jumped out of the drone. Speaking a foreign language.
Speaking French.
Jumped out of foreign. Speaking foreign.
That foreign.
Hey, anyway, Mr. Lean. I'm going to be honest. For a minute, Mr. Lean used to submit music to the tribe. And we never used to put it up because we felt it wasn't there yet. However, I believe he has improved a lot. I like Miniskirt. I like his joint with Big Ben, Motwoonoh.
Ecee.
I like the one with Ecee.
The new one. Oh my God.
Wegamba, the man has brought it.
For me, first of all, I like that I'm friends with his brother. Let me even throw it out there.
Shout
So
outs,
the
bro.
thing about it is, when your homie tells you, hey, listen to my bro, okay, do you know how refreshing it is to listen to the person's bro and it's actually dope? Where you don't have to lie and be like, your bro,
you don't have to lie.
That's a bit
Why
fun.
you
You're
don't have
telling
to be
someone
like,
to listen to your mixtape.
Wait, you don't have to turn off your data and go offline for a minute.
You have to first blue tick. What? No, this one it's refreshing because the music is dope. I really like him. And you see, like, many people think rapping, you need to be you have to be your Jay-Z, you have to be your Nas, your Kendrick, your J. Cole, your whatever. I like that Mr. Lean is not in that lane. And I like that he has enjoyed his... Okay, some people may take this negatively, but I like that he's enjoyed his Nelly lane. The industry always needs the Nellies, and they give you a lot of hits, a lot of good songs. Yeah. All his songs that I play feel like hits.
Yeah, they are.
They're proper, like every song, and that's, for me, that's dope. Like, I can play this song, boom, this vibe, this is what I'm using. Doing my playlists on Tidal, I think each of these songs that we've mentioned has featured in one or another. I did
same on that Tidal African hip hop playlist.
Yeah, so it's easy to push because it's right. Like, where you don't have to, you're not doing anyone a favor.
Yeah. For Mr. Lane, honestly, it's the guy is doing his thing. Like, he's of the artists we're looking at, he's one I feel like he did his homework.
He knew his target audience. And he's just enjoying his thing. Yeah. Like, he's not trying to be anybody else. He's just enjoying his thing. And I don't know, like, he's onto something, and he's like, I don't know, he's working towards it. I have nothing to say about it. I'm just hoping, there's these things of you give us, like this. You've given us that miniskirt, you've given us Motwoonoh with Big Ben.
With you.
And then you've given us with you with Ecee. My God, Ecee, though.
Yeah. Ecee.
Sure. Ecee has always been that person who blesses UG pop joints.
Yes.
Just change
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure many shall agree. I don't even have to name them, but many of our guys have used her. But she's done a good job. He's done a good job. We just hope he keeps it coming with the music, because, like, there's always that can do those 2-3 songs disappear, try and come back in 2 years, and we've moved on.
Yeah, and the challenge for him now, where the fire he has come with becomes a problem. You have to be consistent.
You can't now go.
You can't
fire.
Otherwise, we'll move on. But
Ugandans move on. Hey.
Larry, for guys who are tuning in or listening in, Larry used to be part of the High Society clique. And then I think the fourth guy in High Society was supposed to put in man. The man again. What putting in man?
in the US.
Yeah, so Larry was like, deuces, I'm out. And he went on his solo journey. But on the real, we don't know the backstory. we are just assuming. But yeah, Larry, away from High Society, I would love to say hardworking.
Yeah.
Hardworking fella. Hardworking fella, and also a fella who researches. I'm saying research because me and him have chatted about books that discuss the music business or things. So he's a guy. Yeah.
You read books?
Bruh.
I'm just shocked.
You can read.
I look shallow. like I sound shallow, eh? Like I sound shallow, but I read.
Not like you sound shallow. You're always on the move. When do you get time to read?
You read, man. You read. If you have passion for something, or if it's something that itches you, you have to scratch it and read about it. And the fact that
lines from them books.
But yeah,
this is not your TED talk, please. Relax.
Bruh, my TED talk, I think there will be drinks, what? That's why I won't lie to people that, I started with 1 kilogram of rice and now I have a plantation of potatoes. No.
For you to be, I started with a memory card. Now I have a podcast. I started with a Huawei, the Idios, the yellow one. Yeah. But now, we have podcast equipment. But yeah, Larry is one of those people for me, and I like the freestyles he was doing, I think, throughout the whole of last year.
Throughout the whole lockdown situation.
Yeah.
The Larry raps. Actually, we've talked about work. You've mentioned High Society. Again, I have to bring back that UG Hip Hop Awards situation, because of course that was the first one, eh?
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah, and I know they did a couple of shows back then. I know they did the Benazeri before he retired.
But I like that first project they did together, the dorm room experience. Like, that was brilliant.
But
kids
now,
straight out of school.
For me, Larry, like the work, if you've worked as a group, you've come through, it's one thing to break away and still give us nothing.
Yeah.
But he might not have released as much music, although I did see a tweet this morning that said music coming in March. So we shall wait for that.
But dropping in March.
But in the whole lockdown situation, even before the Tribe UG hip hop lockdown thing, he was doing Larry Raps episodes. I think he did like 12 of them. So like I can't say there was, I don't know if it was every week, but he was doing a different thing. And it was very interesting to see those short verses because it was giving us different aspects of what he does, what he brings to the table.
Yeah.
He puts in a lot of work. And Felix talked about his reading, and even when you check the retweets and the likes, there's a lot of this, there's a lot of that. Yeah, you can tell he's a Jay-Z fan, and Jay-Z with the branding, the ownership, he's always into that kind of stuff. And you see, if you're to be good at the game, it's interesting to understand it to the fullest.
Yeah.
Now, you can't just focus on, I can't say I like basketball and I like to play it, but then I don't want to go and see, what Kobe brought to the table. I don't want to go and see what Magic brought to the table.
Yeah.
I have to know, because these are the people that excelled at what I'm trying to do.
But why are you using international references?
Hey, Jimmy Enabu is the hardest working guy and he's a bad boy. Problem is,
you guys may not know.
Enabu is a bad boy. No, but like, these are things, you have to know, because how else are you going to evolve? How else are you going to tap into that one aspect that may elevate what you're trying to do as an artist?
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see the approach he takes, although I'm looking forward to hearing him do actual music. Mm-hmm. I know I've had I've seen Sinking on Tidal, but that that's one song here, one song there. I've had a couple of them, but for me it's when you put it, like we talked about Mr. Lean just before, and I've listened to this, with you, with Ecee in this vibe. He's giving us that R&B hip hop collaboration type of vibe. Motwoonoh with Big Ben, rap on rap, giving us that type of vibe.
Yeah.
Then Miniskirt on his own, party. You understand? He's giving us that type of vibe. That's 3 different vibes, one artist.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed seeing that. Now I'm looking forward to seeing what Larry brings in that direction on his own. So let's wait and see. Like Felix says, this is about the purpose of this is to see who has something coming, who's going to add to the industry. So we're hoping we're looking forward. I'm looking forward to see what he brings.
Yeah, and you see, Larry, he's doing his groundwork.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the most interesting bit about him is he's laying the foundation, because even with the freestyles he was doing, like you can see this is an artist that's not doing it just for exposure, but if you put it out there and you actually put that consistency, you put yourself on pressure, and if you put yourself on pressure, you put yourself on you hold yourself to a standard for performance.
Yeah.
So, and this is stuff that he will look at later in his career and will realize he actually did the groundwork.
Yeah.
Because it's more like if you're looking him up, you can actually go back to those days and find when he started and how he actually climbed he rose up the ranks to become the artist he is.
Yeah, like you're trying to say he didn't just dive in the pool, he first dipped his toe.
Yeah.
Those things, just test the water.
Yeah.
I think what Ian has said is what I was going to say, but in a way that Larry is the guy who has started with what he has and started from where he is, in the sense that those freestyles, he even used to shoot them on his phone.
Yeah.
So he didn't have to wait for
exactly.
He didn't have to wait for the baddest camera, whatever. He was like, this is what I have.
For the 4th album with the money.
Yeah. He's like, sister, the 4th guy disappeared. Yeah, let's do what we have to do.
Larry has a studio, Victory Alley, he's been growing it. I've been seeing posts, we started from some Kafane couch, that was torn, I don't know, the rats that had done what. I saw the other day they pimped it up and stuff. I was like,
the man is an entrepreneur.
Man is working on that thing. He's serious about it. That's why the music is next, because now that he has set up the location.
So yeah, Larry, we're looking forward to the music and everything that comes with it. Next name, the homie. East African boy.
Nasty
boy.
C.
Oh wow.
Do I let Ian complain first? Ian,
The homie. The homie is quite is another case of Nickarma Nox. Like you can honestly see where his inspiration comes from, which is not a bad thing. But again, if I have to listen to you sounding like Nasty C, I'm a huge Nasty C fan. That's why I was able to tell where he sounded like Nasty C. But if I have to listen to you sounding like Nasty C, you better be as good, or you better be slightly different, but do not give
better
me,
than Nasty C.
Yeah, don't give me a Nasty C on a budget, because it's going to seem like it's going to seem like I have no business being entertained by you, because the guy you're trying to do it like does it better. Why must I go to a roadside guy and eat meat, yet I can go to the meat guy?
And what's crazy is that even in Ecee, guys who listen to Nasty C, they say Nasty C is trying to sound like people from States. It's not sounding like a real South African.
True, but you see, over time, Nasty C owned it and kind of transformed it to sound.
Let's first bring it back to the homie.
Yeah.
But then you then listen to.
But then I listened to Investigate, and woof.
That's track 2 on his
project.
Yeah, Investigate was tight. Like it was Investigate. For a second, I didn't think about Nasty C. It was just vibes.
Mark, when you listen to that project, did you feel any Nasty C?
Me, I have a whole background for the homie. I really like the homie, so for me it's a different.
Hey, let's get into it. Yeah.
First encounter is, of course, Pulse Rap battles. Mans was killing them battles. Of course, at the UG Hip Hop Awards, they come through for what? The semi-final, was it?
Yeah.
Everyone who was there, anyone who was there can tell you, the man killed it. Someone sent me a clip from the papers at the time of the awards, and I'm there at the front, and they're like, fans enjoying the music. I realized that's the moment where I'm shouting, oh shit, the homie! Like, he was killing it, and I'm there ending up in random papers making noise. No, but at the end of the day, the guy is fire. He did some good work. That's just last year, so that gets done. And soon after that, of course, he didn't win, yes, but soon after that, we get he first releases Say Goodbye, I think, just a song, which I really like. Now, you see, usually it's hard to listen to those, those hip-hop songs that are just one long nothingness, like no hook, no nothing, just one long song. Sometimes it's hard, especially when you don't know the artist, because you're like, we don't know you yet. First bring us in with a hook. First, no. This guy, because it evolves, he starts off as if singing, and it evolves, and he gets into the rapping, and the rapping gets more, it gets smarter. Like, the writing is really good, and so it's like, oh yes, he's like, he gave us this just earlier. He's done this Say Goodbye, which is really dope. He did the UG Hip Hop Lockdown thing as well, which was also really dope. Again, because of the smart, and Ian mentioned earlier, who's your target market and what are you aiming at? You feel, much as you may sound like this, you still have to bring it to UG. And this man is saying more commando than beans and chapati. Like, I mean, he really brings it. He really brings it home. He always does, which I really like as well. And then the full project comes out. Now, when it comes to the project, hey, I've said many words. This one, I have invested in it. I've listened. I've really listened. No, but like, when it came to the project, track 1, Boss, again, it's a vibe. It's a vibe. I know Ian said Nasty C. Maybe I don't listen to Nasty C as much, so it didn't hit me at all. At all? It didn't hit me at all until you said it, and I was listening to, what was I listening to? I think it was still Boss. And I see what you're saying, but me, I was caught on the vibe. I was still dancing. So, it gives us that, switches it into Investigate, which now you see with the young rappers, like I said, we don't always need the Jay-Z, the what. Sometimes we need these other songs, especially for the UG. Many times we know that some of the artists that have managed to stay in the game here, I mean, Navio does a lot of the crossover fusion type songs. And there you go with Investigate. He gives us that aspect, which is that crossover, that thing that can appeal to the hip hop fans and the people who don't give any damn about hip hop at all. And for me, that's always a plus. Someone who's able to make, because yes, you gave us all those pulse rap battle. It's a battle, so you're being aggressive. You're calling out a guy. You're dissing someone.
Yeah.
How do you go from that straight into investigate? Pretty dope, especially for someone in their first. That's your first project. It's new. So yeah, I was pretty happy with that. Maybe with the whole project, it's like 6 songs. Maybe there was a bit more singing than I would have liked. But other than that, it was.
But singing is where the industry is.
That's like the problem is you talked about producing versus rapping, and Ryan Leslie can sing and rap at the same time, and it's going to come off right. Some people, it doesn't always translate. I don't mind it. Like, again, I really like Say Goodbye, and he sings halfway through that.
Yeah.
So it's not even about don't sing. It's that, man, I would like the rapper to rap, especially if your singing is not as good.
Yeah, but you see also obviously you're invested, you're a fan. And the issue I have with because all this good stuff you're saying about him is because you are invested to actually find out who he is, what he does. The conversation we had earlier about branding and presence. So how come
you've not crossed his path?
Yeah.
You see, I agree with what everything Mark said, but for me it's like this. We got to know the homie from a rap battle, right?
So imagine just a rap battle last year.
So going from a rap battle, I would prefer a transition, like his first project. I would have preferred to hear him rap more.
That's what I was saying. That's exactly what I was saying.
More, and then from there, then he can transition into the cross, more general tracks and things like that.
Although I don't think they need to be separate. I think what he needed to do was find the balance. But that's what this is for. You see, this is why some of these guys need to do these projects. Because if you're not doing the project, then you have nothing to learn from.
Yeah.
What are you going to learn from?
Yeah, but you see.
So then now, to speak to your point, the whole how come I haven't seen him branding and all that. To that, I would say it would be us being harsh on him, given that, like you said, no one knows your story and know everything like that. But to me, I would say the fact that I kind of know his story, it makes me biased to this entire conversation. I would say he's just at the start of this whole journey.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen he's doing, I would love to say he's doing the right things when it comes to the product and everything. He just needs that person to sort of like channel him and guide him and be like, hey, what now when it comes to branding outside the music, this is how you do it. And to that, I would say MTN did that, or is doing that. The Pulse Battle winner, the overall person was supposed to get mentorship from Navio and a recording contract, so which they did give to the person, but then also they're like, hey, given from what we saw at the event and how people reacted to the homie, let's also add him onto the mentorship program. So now, the mentorship program is for 6 months. I know these details because the Trade Beach is doing the mentorship in partnership with Navcorp, Navio's company. So if those 6 months elapse and it's still the same story, still the same, the homie, nothing has been done in terms of branding, then there we can be like, okay, there is a problem. So how come?
So he's just
he's basically
the real rookie.
So he's basically still underground.
So now he's new, like fresh off the boat.
Fresh off the boat. True, fresh off the boat. But and I completely agree with everything you guys have said. But you see, again, for a kid, I don't know if he's that young, but for a kid with the potential he has.
Yes, we all agree he has potential. And to see that he's new, he has only one project, I think. Like one body of work. Like a body of work that someone can listen to from start to finish. Though I've been discussing with him from last week. He has a bunch of freestyles that he wants to put out that he has been doing. Okay. So I think he wants to first give people the rapping thing. Because even on Thursday we're in studio with him and you could hear he's trying to fuse genres like hip hop and dancehall and things like that. And also to speak to his brand, I think that if he decides to work on his brand, it can be one of the biggest brands in East Africa. He has that Kigali up. Even when you listen to his music, he drops some Kinyarwanda lines in there.
Exactly. But you see, now you as Tribe UG,
Yeah.
I'm going to single you out for this. But you as Tribe UG with this knowledge and background and knowing what kids like him are capable of, how as he's mentored to develop his career as an artist, what's going on with his branding? Is this something that's running at the same time, or the plan is to mentor his career, then work on the branding? Because you see, even the fact that he's getting mentorship from Navio, that's already branding.
Yeah.
But how many of us know that? Because you see, we don't want artists to fall into this whole thing where someone calls you out on Twitter, oh, you're trash. So like, I'm trash. Photos from 2020 was mentored by Navio. Then I was at this cipher. You see, we need, for us to understand your growth and know your journey, we need to actually see this thing.
I think we've been, from the Tribe's perspective, we've been uploading some of the, should I say, short clips from the sessions they're having with
I've seen some.
They're having with Navio. So now the whole plan is for us to sort of like unveil them because the whole thing is that music has to be there and then the rest follow. So they're in the process of creating that music and then the rest follow. However, the homie as the homie, he's throwing parties, his own events, which personally I think is the best way an artist can market. You can market yourself. He's doing all these parties. He's sort of like engaging all these people, playing all this music. And these parties at Speak Apartments, that says a lot about the brand. and
the money.
And the money is the budget.
The fourth homie.
So all these things, they all contribute to the brand.
Yeah.
But also, man, seeing these things, that guy, like, this is on a serious note, though it's like a joke. The guy, the fourth homie, and the role he plays in a group, or the role he plays in someone's career goes along with the finance guy. Like, bro, if the homie has the finance guy, he can be the baddest. It's just that now MTN has covered the budget for the 6 months. So in those 6 months, because we were even talking about the strategy to release his music, what he has to do a photo shoot, like come out looking clean, like proper.
Yeah, but clean. do you agree that as the Tribe UG, there's a lot more work. Of course, it's not up to you; it's up to the artist as well. But there's a lot more work that can go into brand awareness. I agree, like you said, preparing the music and then trying to reach the audiences by doing all these parties and stuff is one way to get to the audience. But when an era of social media.
Yeah, a lot. I appreciate the statement that a lot goes into brand awareness.
Yeah.
So, which in my case, or in my opinion, I would say the homie is doing what the homie does to do the brand awareness without the finances. Yeah. For example, he may have not crossed your timeline because
I know him because of you guys.
Yes,
I don't know him outside you guys.
And that's the thing. And then also the homie, I have a feeling that he speaks to a different age bracket altogether. That sometimes it might go over we people, unless you are keeping your ear to the street to know who is the next guy, who is the next guy. So I feel like for the homie, he's doing what the homie is supposed to do, engaging his crowd the way he's supposed to engage his crowd.
Yeah.
But now the challenge is now how does he cross over to people?
Personally, though, I think it's the right. Listen, if I heard you first last year in a Pulse rap battle, then you do the hip hop awards, which is Feb 29th, and you do what you do, and of course the crowd goes crazy. So then I'm like, I guess because people tweeted, like there was all that. I think there was some voting or something. Why did we tweet? That's why I tweeted it. There was
voting on.
So we tweeted. So because of that, we got access to his handle.
Yeah.
So that's now step one for me being able to still see him. Then of course, remember the UG hip hop lockdown situation. I feel like that's an opportunity for many of these kids to be seen, you see?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not just for the kids, because Navio jumped on that thing and killed it. Yeah. There's a couple of, let me say, I mean, there was Navio, there was Big Ben, there was, which are the names that are, like there's a bunch of names that we already
there was Cynnate.
Yeah. But see, like, so even the names, it was not about, like, kids only or anything. There was a bunch of people.
What happened to Atlas?
Let's not go there.
I was going to say Align. They might pull an AK-47 on me in the streets. They might pull an AK-47 on me in the streets.
He may jump out of a drone with Mark.
And I don't have that kind of protection, so I don't want to tempt the gods.
No, but like in that time, he's submitted for that. Then he's given us a song. Then he's dropped a project. So yes, let's say now he's preoccupied, but he's putting a lot of work, which it might not have reached you right.
Yeah.
But that's where he can grow. But in terms of his start, I feel like it's he's pushing, and that's because I mean we've mentioned people. We have to look for this song here. We have to do that. This one has everything is there.
Yeah, but you see again, the homie with all his resources and access right now. No. The thing is, for the Nasty C effect, I can get it. It's not overwhelmingly. It does not overshadow what he's doing as an artist. Okay. It's just something I got because I'm a Nasty C fan. I listen to Nasty C almost every week. But the thing is, with all his resources now and the access he has, and how he's trying to how you're justifying how he's trying to enter the industry.
Yeah.
It had better be big. Because you see someone like Larry who's doing stuff on his phone, building his background. That's the competition. So when your story comes out and we know you are mentored by Navio, you did all of this stuff, MTN covered the expenses for 6 months, and then somehow out of the gate you're not as consistent as
to put it straight, I don't want guys to take it out of context.
Yeah.
With the MTN situation, they are covering his mentorship. Basically, that's giving him access to Navio.
Yeah. And
then also they are footing a bill for one song.
Audio and video.
Audio. Mm-hmm. So they're footing the bill for one song. So I don't want guys to take it out of context and be like, oh my God.
That comes out is
was a complete deal.
Or they might be like, MTN lied, and stuff. Yeah, you know? It's the overall winner who is supposed to drop an album and a video and then also mentorship for those 6 months. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
I get that from your comments. I get that what's his name? The homie hasn't crossed your circle.
He hasn't.
But now here's the thing. For that, I would also put a blame on you. Because this is a kid who dropped a whole project. We did a whole interview on the tribe, talking to him. This content is out there. You just have to.
He did the hip hop thing, so you get to see him again.
Yeah, but you see,
so that I would put it on you.
You put it on me, but you see, again, you need to understand on this podcast, I'm the balance of.
You're the other.
I'm the other person. I'm the regular. I'm the average listener who.
You have been reviewing Doughboy.
I have been reviewing music.
That's not your average. What is Doughboy doing that Naomi is not doing? No, one thing I know that Naomi is doing that Doughboy is not doing is give us good music. Oh, shout out to Doughboy. Shout out to Doughboy. I'm not saying.
You have said it.
I'm not saying Doughboy is giving us terrible music. I'm just saying the homie is giving us a better product.
Yeah, but you see, I don't know what their social numbers look like, but I feel like still Delboy.
My G,
you're about to start giving us.
Let me first pull out the
Don't
homie.
defend Delboy.
I'm not defending Delboy.
Don't.
You pull out the homie that the Delboy's socials. I also pull out thinking.
Okay.
This kid has 1,500 followers, and you're not one of them. Where are you, gentlemen? Let's go on Twitter. Though I don't want to pull out Twitter numbers. So the numbers. So that goes to
who's next on the list?
homie is out here in the streets. You guys are not paying attention. You want him when he has blown up, and then you'll be like, yo, you know what? That kid was at the Pulse Rap Battles. Oh shit. Okay, Twitter's not doing good. Let's leave Twitter.
Because of the eons of this world.
The eons, they don't follow that man. Let me follow that man.
But don't forget, this is a 1 year in the
1 year in the game.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is,
1 year in the game. Sorry, Delboy, how long?
maybe 2, 3.
Bruh, Delboy.
Man's can't even get on code. Forget the kid.
Doughboy was there when Doughboy laptops started coming out into the market.
Yo, chill, man. What the hell?
I'm just Doughboy, man.
Man, last year, just to break away from this list, but last year,
Doughboy and Barrow rolled up the sleeves. They gave us content.
Big Ben, they gave us something to listen to.
Yeah,
that Tucker verse, though.
That's a topic.
Anyway, let me not go back to that.
So much to talk about.
Let me not go back to that, but I would say now, are you seeing for like Doughboy?
Yeah.
They're behind the scenes mechanics we can't talk about here, but the level of access that would sort of like guide Doughboy's branding is not the same level of access that the homie had the past year till the MTN battle situation came through and you got mentorship. Because now I can tell you this for a fact. You saw how Doughboy and Barrow rolled out their projects. Every project that came out, they had a different photo shoot. And that's money. That's money that goes into those things.
Fourth homie, man. Fourth homie.
The homie.
I think Ian is there, fourth homie.
Yeah, but yeah, fourth homie. Yeah, bro. Because the way Ian says, I forgot this gadget at home. I forgot the other one at home. It might be our fourth homie also directly. But there are those resources that, they become tight on a rapper. But, the guy has tried to do what he can with what he has.
Anyway, time will tell.
And, right, and here's a party in March something. You guys can.
Everyone is doing something in March. Yeah, so it on my birthday. No, next on the list,
Cynnate.
Cynnate is in the building.
Bro, is she? I think she's only female.
Fire.
Yes, because we must say we tried to look at other people's. There was a one,
but they never made it. They never made the cut.
Who didn't make it?
Don't say. But just know we checked you out and you didn't make the cut.
Cynnate is freaking fire.
Yeah.
Like this is
hands down.
Khaleesi Dragon fire shit going on.
She did have a line like that, didn't she? I know it was.
Because, and you see the thing is, first of all, for a long time, artists who rap in Richiga or Nyankole, it's been kind of really hard to bring it out.
Chiga flow.
Yeah, but ish.
I knew Ian would be, I don't know if it's like a bias, but I knew he would be excited about that. Same way he was excited about the Truth 256.
Yeah, but also the Spanish. I want to know her story. Does she speak Spanish?
She raps in Spanish.
My guy, she drops in a bit of Spanish and it's lit. I'm like, yo.
It's always good when you don't understand what people are saying.
Hablo español.
And the thing is, she's also not trying to be Lil Kim, Remy Ma. She's straight out of the gate. She's just trying to be fun and entertaining, and her lines are cheesy in a very nice way. She's just dope. Bruh,
you and Cynnate. When was the first time you had Cynnate?
I don't know. Not 2 weeks ago. Sometime last year.
I thought you guys go way back. You've shocked us in the past episode.
We don't go. I saw a retweet from somebody on a song.
It must have been Doughboy.
Must be Delbo.
Yeah, they have a song together. It's called In My Zone, something zone.
Yeah.
They have a song together.
Yeah, I saw a retweet and then I listened to the jams and down the rabbit hole. I'm like, yo.
And also for me speaking about that song, it's one of the songs that was seated in our email for a minute until I was going through stuff. I'm like, oh, this is dope. I put it up on the side. No, I don't vote Doughboy. Doughboy is a bad guy.
No, but speaking of that song as well, I liked her from that because, checked it out on Tidal and I'm like, first verse is in one vibe and I'm like, okay, pay a bit of attention. Second verse is a different vibe, but still another, it's nice in both. Where I disagree with Ian is the cheesy parts of her rhymes. Sometimes I feel like the writing get tighter. Like she doesn't tighten up a bit screw, but I like that she makes an effort to rhyme right. The people might listen. You lose track of the melody of it all because they can't rhyme right. They can't make it fit. They can't make it sit on the beat. She does that right, and so just tightening for me, just some loose screws. But other than that, really really dope. And I listened to the projects. We're talking about giving us work.
She has a couple of EPs.
Yeah, she has. I went through that title. I had to. It was a whole afternoon of listening to her music.
Yeah.
And then of course last year she did do the UG Pop Lockdown thingy as well.
And she was also nominated the Female Rap of the Year.
Yeah. And the thing about her is, and she did appear on some of the African hip hop playlists.
Yeah.
But the thing about her is, even in that huge hip hop lockdown thing, she had one of the better ones.
True.
If I'm looking like at okay, maybe can't put a number to it. I may say top 5, then I start struggling to put the to make but still, I
would say top 5.
It's possible. It's actually possible
top 5
because she really put up a dope one. If I look at the stuff that was there, the people we'd heard before, even with the people we'd heard before, those we hadn't heard, she did some good work. So if she keeps giving us the work, keeps dropping, I'm sure it will only get better.
I'd want to hear a song by her and like one of these local artists, not like a rapper.
Like Girl Boy.
No, I'd want her on a song with like Tonix.
Oh,
yeah, that would be fair.
That's really taking it home, eh? Your inner Biamugisha is showing.
Yeah, but anybody else, even but Tonix.
Wow, real brother.
No, but Tonix. Whenever Tonix is on a track with a rapper, it's dope. Remember the song you had with Flex, Follow?
You had a good song with Flex? Ooh. Flex had a good song, Ian? Well done.
Flex has dope music.
Which other song did you do with the rap?
Regular with Navio.
Another one.
I think those are the ones I know.
What are you saying every time he does with a rap?
Yeah, like two for two. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Those are not enough to go by.
That's it.
He has like a whole album.
But Tonix is one of the few male singers that we have that have actually stood the test of time.
That's
not
true.
Michael Rose.
Hey, that was
Mark.
He is the test.
But to be honest,
so you wanted to do a collab with Michael Rose?
I liked Señorita. Hey, Señorita. But
for Michael Rose?
Yeah, that was...
Tell me. But Tell Me was dope.
Tell Me was fire.
Yeah.
Tell Me was...
What was that other one where they were dancing at
on stage with Genuine? Sorry.
No. There's that video they did in a club, Give Me Tonight. The song was dope.
Tonight, my bros has a fire catalog.
Yeah,
it's just that
I don't know, man. Mark doesn't.
I don't know why Ugandans we don't like. Like
people just keep throwing. Said that
but my
they want him to skip
catalog.
stages.
Oh
wow! Really, you're really
I follow. That's I follow with the bars.
But some of us genuinely like him.
Do you know? You're even laughing at yourself. You can't tell that lie with a straight face.
No, honestly, I used to be a fan. Whenever his Señorita would play, I'd get my butter shoes, put them on, try to do his moves.
So basically, you rapped, you danced, but nothing worked out.
You even play basketball and football.
Do you know I failed basketball because of this guy? There's a time I sent him a text. I'm like, yo, Mark, I want to actively do some sports. Can we do basketball? He asked me, I was like, where do you play basketball from? He asked me, do you want to come and watch? I'm like, yo. I've said I want to actively play in the sport. I gave up.
You might also watch it actively. Actively.
There are those active watchers, it is true. Next on the list. This gentleman over here is a bringer of it. Hey, straight fire. You mentioned the Khaleesi thing earlier. That's actually one of his Buddhins.
Yeah.
But Saint Maxi Mayne, man. Saint Maxi Mayne. My good lord.
Yeah.
Goodness me. Like, again, same type of, I heard him on a couple of, I first picked him up on, I think, African hip hop playlists. Was that?
Did the MTN UG Awards playlist.
The awards.
The awards
playlist. It was the awards playlist, yes.
Bro, we've created playlists. You haven't featured Umwe movie.
No, but that gentleman.
You need to do a playlist for this.
For
the new kids.
Yeah.
The ones who
we shall figure it out along the way.
But like the thing about it is he did that. Like I listened to a couple of songs there. I think there was that. Which song was it?
He has the Kukunku
freestyle. I think it was the second because he has like 3 of them.
Yeah.
So it was the second one that was in the playlist where he's doing all those Socrates and Zeus.
Yeah.
So one of the things I like about him actually is his references. they vary, like in terms of, you see, there's people who pick out the same, the same stuff. Like when you talk about, I don't know, something to do with cars, something to do with women, something to do with the bar, something to do with, your homie who did this, something to do with Arsenal, something to do. It's very limited in what people aim for. This guy has smart references. He has vast references. It's interesting, like especially in Luganda, you see, it's one thing to be doing a Luganda song and then you're bringing in something to do with Falcon, like you're an Avenger, and it's like, it's, and first of all, who's going to pick out, like if you're going to do a reference to the Avengers, you're probably going to go something like Iron Man and something more. Shout out to Ian and his Iron Man obsession. but like, you're going to go for something that's obvious to people. Yeah. But now imagine in Luganda and you're going for Falcon of all people in there. Like I feel like that's, I like that. I like that he's, he takes risks with it, but still, aside from all that, he is really, really good. And you see, again, I mentioned earlier, it's hard to, especially when we don't know you, it's hard to keep us focused with songs with no hook, no nothing. Yeah. He has a bunch of those, and they're all pretty dope. Like, actually, in prepping for today, and we've listened to all these people, picked out their catalogs. This is probably the catalog where I really went through everything. Went through Tidal, listened to everything up on there, went to YouTube's, the videos, and then now I found, imagine it's like halfway through my listening session that I find the actual, the songs, the hooks and everything, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is dope, drill freestyle, oh my God, this, like, he did a lot of stuff. Then see him perform live, Hip Hop Awards as well. See, that's another thing, some of these people, get you up on stage and if you've been rapping like you've been so hungry with your rapping and then now Mickey Mouse and it on us. But no, this guy, hey, you pay freaking attention. That's another one. I remember I was sitting with my brother at the awards, and we're both sitting there like him and Tushi Paula from the people that we hadn't seen live before. Yeah. Him and Tushi kept us, we're like, okay, this is dope. And that's always a pleasure, especially if we're talking about the growth of the game, growth of the industry. Those are the things we want. We want to be there, see you do some stuff we've never had before, and be like, fire. Yes, we feel that. So yeah.
I'm happy that I managed to keep to my Anjas entertained. Because the Mayanja
not hard to work with.
The Mayanja SI unit is up there. Like, yo, the standard, the Mayanja is up there.
For music, for call singers.
Bro,
I think for Becky, and that was different. Yeah. With the way he has a lot of those, hard hitting, aggressive, then he gives you Chosen Becky, and it's dope, and I like that. I'm like, yeah, different vibes. Mobile feels as if, hey, that's where it is.
And you know how artists that rap in Luganda struggle? How people say, people tend to say they're local, but with Saint Maxi, his Luganda is modern. Like Mark was saying, his references, even for the cool kids who feel like Luganda is local.
You can't hate on it.
Yeah, you can't hate on it because, he just talks about your favorite Avenger. He talks about Khaleesi. Yeah. He just been watching Game of Thrones and shit.
He educated you on Zeus, Perseus, like he gave you a full-on Greek stroke, Roman stroke, full-on, he conquered the whole region. He went on a freaking tour.
Yeah, so for even me, I can almost entirely agree with Mark. But overwhelmingly for me, it's he makes Luganda rap appeal even to the cool kids. And that's a struggle they've always had. They've always said, non-Navio appeals to the cool kids. Then for us, we'll struggle with the ghetto people. But now this is a guy who
bridges the gap.
Yeah, he found a middle ground, and the middle ground works for everybody.
And I think it's only a few people who managed to do that.
Yeah.
And one of them is GNL.
The old GNL.
The old GNL. The Koi GNL.
Yes. The new GNL is quite underwhelming.
Anyway,
Maxi Mayne.
Who had some shout-outs from GNL as well.
Yeah, umwana umuvuka w'Masako yachikuwa mani.
Fire, straight.
Maxi Mayne keep bringing it.
But do you feel a bit off topic? Do you feel like the legend status sometimes gets to someone's creativity?
That's a good question. And I think, yes, it does sometimes. I think it inflates their ego sometimes. And sometimes ego can also affect your creation or your creative process.
Yes, but it also depends on how you use it, because there's some people like, man, if they're saying I'm a legend, I have to deliver at legend.
And speaking of legend, during the week I read something, and someone was saying there's a difference between being an OG in the game and also rapping for a long time.
The longevity can just be you have rapped for long. Longevity,
so sometimes just because
it can be literal. It can be literal. It can be like, man, it has been a long.
Just because you've rapped for a long time doesn't necessarily mean you are an OG.
That's actually true.
I think one of those episodes we shall revisit that conversation and be like, yo, who is an OG and who has just rapped for a long time? Because I have a feeling a lot of Reverb Nation Ugandan rappers just rapped for a long time.
Some of them it's not even a long time. Some of them it's just we were the early rappers, but okay.
Exactly.
Like okay, you were there early, but hey.
And this is what I said. I'm like, just because you rapped at Sabrina's, that doesn't mean you're dope. Like,
yeah, this man posted something on Facebook that started a war. But that's also true. Like, it's true that, you know what, just because
you could have been at Sabrina and you're still work back then, and you're still work right now.
No, I mean, it's the same thing. If this is the now, and in many years to come, this is what people are going to look back at and say the guys who rapped in lockdown. Yeah. The guys who rapped in coronavirus. Yeah. But you see, if you think status will come from you having been maybe relevant or known or in it at all at that time, you see, again, this thing of being in the game, if we're talking teams, you have to understand that there's your first team, your reserves, the backup team, the kids, the one no one wants to know, there's team B, C, D, F. You understand? You may not be on the bench of Team F. Yeah. So you don't have to know that you were in the game and yet, trash. But that's a whole other... We're looking at the future, not the past. The future. And if we look at the future, so Ian, from this list, or should I ask him now? But still, from this list, Ian, if you had to pick a top three. Oh, by the way, I had a prediction for Felix earlier. If I get it right, Ian is buying us lunch, having been late for our...
You predicted them in order or the one?
I predicted... I know who's there. That's what I'm saying.
The person wants to be in top three.
And then if I'm right, on top of your being late, you buy us lunch. It works. So, top three, Ian.
Let me be pulling out the Jumia food up here.
Top three, I think, in no particular order.
In no particular order, but let me just say this again for everyone. This list started off with Naxa, Nickarma Nox, Motwoonoh, Ecee, Dagg Mizzo, Larry, Mr. Lean, The Homie, Cynnate, and Maxi Mayne. That's what, 10 names? So, yeah. Ian, top three.
No particular order. Mr. Lean. Cynnate. The third, must they be top three?
Drum roll, please.
Larry.
Oh. Man, you know what's interesting? 3 is tough. I should have said 5. Because now they're thinking like,
Okay, honorable mention.
Yes, because that's what mine is going to have.
Yeah.
I'd probably go for... it's quite tight. I'd probably go for, of course, Maxi Mayne. One more, The Homie.
Felix?
Mine is the reverse, man. I have Maxi Mayne. I have The Homie. Number 3.
That's exactly how I wrote my list.
Number 3, let me give it to Cynnate. Honorable mention, I have Mr. Lean. And how many am I supposed to have in honorable mention?
2.
I have Mr. Lean. And then I have Mr. Lean, and then I would say Naxa for his business.
Yeah.
For his business moves.
Yeah.
For his business moves.
Anyway, so mine, I started it off exactly as Felix did. I actually wrote it down. Saying Maxi Mayne number. Mine is even in order.
Numero uno.
Like fire straight up number one. Then the homie.
Yeah.
And you see, especially since I just heard them and it's fresh. And then number 3 is where there's a, but I'll go to Mr. Lean.
Yeah.
So saying Maxi Mayne, the homie, Mr. Lean. Honorable mentions, and these two fit there because I feel like maybe if they had more music, they could have climbed that ladder for me. But the honorable mentions are Larry and Motwoonoh. I think both of them are pretty dope, but I don't have much music to refer to, so I can't again start putting them above people with the music.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, that's we'll see. I hope everyone will let us know
What was your prediction for me?
who they agree with.
Cynnate.
Cynnate, Mr. Lean. I did not have that. Cynnate was definite.
Oof, she's
Definite.
she's sounding special.
Because bring it home.
And the music, it's quite diverse. Like,
So you're buying us lunch, hands down.
but you didn't get the third.
No,
It was not about
it wasn't about
the
that.
fact that these people are there.
It was
My
about
wife
those
has
two.
cooked. Let's go.
We shall come through if you think that's going to scare us.
And then they're playing with a baby as you prepare the dishes and
Wait, I should
everything.
tell you to lay that table. Be like, these niggas, serve us. No, we'll put our list up and see if anyone agrees with us.
You can send us a tweet, a comment there in the comment section, even a DM in case you are angry and you don't want to,
And you wonder why you're not higher on the list.
Hey, or even an email.
But also,
Ian Biamjisha
no, we do know that there's a lot of music still out there. We do know there might be people that have not crossed, that we've not come across. So let us know who else you think deserves to be
on the list.
On a list like this.
The one whom we should look out for.
Yeah, and if you've been on that list, make music, like push.
Oh yeah, one thing is, the last episode we looked at a list from 2014 and we're trying to see where they were at in 2021.
Yeah.
Let's hope that now that we've listed you in 2021, we won't get back to this 5 years from now and you've not evolved past that.
Yeah. So, Ian, you have something for us today. A message. It's a message. It's a community. I don't know how to phrase it, man. I don't know how to phrase it.
It's this is the point where we're just unwinding. So
we review.
We review or discuss something random. But sometimes when the artists rap, they forget that the audience pays attention.
Yeah.
And sometimes we know where you're not being entirely truthful, especially when we've been anticipating something. So I will go to Mark for.
Am I the one? I'm always the one reading these things.
The prophet of doom.
I understand, man.
I'll go to Mark, who many call the devil.
Wow.
The evil one.
It's a lie.
Thanos.
Thanos was defeated.
Man will snap your finger and the entire catalog disappears.
Yes, man. Why do you think my mixtape is not on there?
No, but so Ian mentioned stuff that people say, and you refer to it and you're like, in Ian Zaliko, for instance, Flex goes out in Europe doing festivals, and you look back and you're like, oh yeah, he did that. I think it was Germany or something. Like there's those things that he did outside somewhere. So it's like, okay. People refer to one thing here and there, and you're like, okay, cool. Maybe another one is, hey, in my Bugatti, was that about?
But that's
okay. We'll get it. This is not for today. But then the same Flex, I think it was Level Up. Dope song, dope video, hit us with that Dubai. His fourth home, he took him to Dubai.
The Dubai Flex.
Now he was flexing the pepper.
in
He was flexing the
bruh,
pepper
in the
Dubai.
sand, man,
There's
what?
that taka rap, there's that
You know-
taka verse of something, then I flex the paper.
You're on burn.
Yeah.
On what?
If I'm shutting down cities and I flex the paper.
But I think on Level Up,
You know, chicks are flying out to Dubai. Flex was like, nah, bro, I got this. I'll fly out. No, but yeah, Flex flexes the paper, man. Here's the paper.
Yeah, but he said album Young Eriko.
Tunda.
I'm like,
Where is the album?
which album?
Which album?
No, but you see, man, this is not even a. I know last time we did what we're calling a trash lyric. This is a questionable lyric.
Question mark. You know, in school you'd answer a question and then the teacher puts a question mark. You're like, what a man! Like,
You gave your answer, teacher put
because you didn't want to leave space. So I'm sure, like, he asked for. What was the previous bar before Tunda? What was the previous bar?
Album Young Eriko.
Like there was a bar
Yeah,
before.
the first line.
Yeah, so I'm sure in writing he was like, what do I say?
What rhymes with
What do I say? What do I tune? I was like, album. Boom. Album,
What
go.
else would he be saying?
Hey, you got that merch, bro.
The
I know
Rappolics.
that's smart,
Where?
but the way he said it, like, what else can I do? Like, oh.
Yeah.
Is that what got into Dubai?
Yeah.
The focus here.
Yeah.
It's you that said it.
No, I said what I said. I said what I
The
said.
problem with you always say this shit, and when the shit comes out, makes it seem like I don't like flex. This shit comes from you.
No, like, I didn't say what I said, and then you picked out what you
It's
wanted.
how you said it, because
How did I
we
say
have
it?
a friend who will understand it differently, because for him that's his currency.
Oh, shout out to Mans. We are going to just call him Mans. Shout out to Mans.
Mans brings it.
Yeah,
that
Mans
way.
brings it.
But back to Flex and his paper, and his album, or lack thereof. Yeah, man, Flex. This one is not. It's not even write something else. That's a dope ass song, dope ass lines, dope ass videos. No album, sir. You owe us, please. Give us the album so that Ian can listen to your good stuff.
Yeah, but Flex, I don't know how many times, probably
You
later.
brought back Flex explanation.
No, hold on. Maybe later as the podcast grows, I can sit across the table with Flex and kind of really
Let's see if he accepts to come.
have this
Hey,
conversation.
man.
Because you see, I don't like that it comes off like I don't like him. But my background with him is because I knew him before the industry.
We got this. Let's not take a trip
So
down that memory lane.
Flex will need the album, and I will personally listen to the album.
And you will buy it.
I will buy it. I will review it. So yeah, like bring the album.
Bring it on. No cheerleader movie.
Anyway, so that's what we had for you guys today. Shout out to Liz. We're waiting for the flight to touch down, and then you give us a thorough brief of why we sent you out there. You might be in Miami enjoying your best life.
What did he say?
Living his best life, man. But yeah, man. We have you in our prayers. Stay safe. Corona is tough, man. It's tough. Stay safe. Yeah, and any message for guys who listened in?
I have a message for Leslie.
For Leslie, yeah.
Yeah. Wear your mask.
Really? What's going on here?
Yeah.
The Miami Corona has a different.
Yeah.
Like a different type of mask or the normal mask you used to.
You see, it's not me. It's
I
always
know, I'm asking.
you're the one that
I'm
said this
asking
shit.
because the mask thing seemed like Leslie is on top of it. He's our
On top of
diplomat.
what?
Wow.
Guys, we shall be coming to you next week with another episode of
The Tribe.
Yeah, also, Leslie, come with a chair.
And a microphone.
And a microphone.
And I force homie to give you that gadget.
And for all the podcasts you've missed, you are going to put in our jar. You're going to put some money for all the episodes you missed. For however much we sent you on a diplomatic mission.
I feel like it's same bottle for episode 1, meet guy for episode 2. The more episodes you miss, the more
Since
we
you're the
think
fourth guy,
the fourth
we know you have the money. Yeah, but for the audience, for the guys listening, thank you for listening, and tweet at the Tribe UG, at all of us. Let us know what you think. At Paulo the Writer.
Yes. Guys, you know whom to aggressively attack.
That's the guy.
Yeah, but when you attack me, tag Mark.
Mark, what's your handle?
At the Count Markula.
Boom.
Makula. But the Count Markula.
Depending on where you come from.
Makula. It's okay.
Yeah, and in case you like what we do, send us a bottle. Just DM any of these gentlemen. We give you a pin, because we might give you a pin until you come with punches on me. You run up on us.
Jimmy has an option where I can order and you pay with your number.
Hey, and then you stay there. Just send us.
Just enter your code.
Yeah, and we shall start a GoFundMe page for Ian. It's for the podcast, but we shall say it's for Ian.
After being beaten or what?
Yeah. Actually, we shall start it for his microphone, I think.
His chair.
And his chair, man.
And for Ian's 5th chair when he wants to sit down with Flex.
Yeah.
No, but Flex, when the time comes, I'd really like to sit across the table with you and let's have this conversation.
Social distancing. That's what he wants to maintain table distance.
I don't like the whole perception and the narrative that I'm not a fan. I am a huge fan.
Oh, Duringa.
It's just that we need the album, and people need to understand that I knew you when you're rapping in the
Like,
time.
like, you don't know me.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
And this will close the podcast. Yeah, actually, both of you guys.
I worry.
If, let's say, they brought the UG's Most Wanted to you, and they asked you to take off one guy before it's released, who would you take off?
UG's Most Wanted.
Yeah.
Everyone that leave play.
I was about to list 2 as on it because I mean,
How am you list yours?
It was Tushi Polo, Tucker HD, J Wads, Play, and Big Ben.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is,
In that order.
Everybody else is dope until you listen to Play and you're like, oh shit. Yeah, like
So you didn't listen to Big Ben's verses after Play because you're like,
after that you
zone out.
because almost all the times we have replayed that song, he's the guy who'd be like, first take it back a bit, first take it back. Everybody else would go.
To be honest, it's a tough one because that's a dope-ass song. And, Tushi at the start. Tucker's verse is flames. I'm sorry, it's flames. J Watts is what I said about Mr. Lean earlier. Like that he's in his lane and he's like, me, this is my vibe. This is what I does. Love it. Especially on such a song, because you can be tempted to try and be all, try and rap, try and get it. You're between Tucker and Play. You know what I mean? Like, you can try and get some ideas, but nah, he kept it in his lane, which was really dope and refreshing for the song. Helps it move along. Play did what Play did.
Yep.
And Big Ben did what actually he always does, which is that the same, and I keep saying, really dope. But now to remove, I think it's funny thing because it's weird. I'll remove I'll remove Tushi Polo or Big Ben. The other 3 are pretty solid. They're all pretty solid, but the other 3 are untouchable in my books. But you see,
he's harsh, man. You hold everyone.
Tushi.
No,
I'd end up leaving Tushi because I didn't know that. I didn't know. For Big Ben, he gave me what I always get.
Tushi. Why does she call herself Tushi?
Don't get into that Tush vibe. Let's go.
Yeah.
Polo.
Follow the writer.
So
you wanna go straight to follow.
no,
The follow is there for you.
I write for Tushi.
He's always been writing for Tushi.
Ooh.
Yo.
You guys, we are out. Bye bye. Let's end here.
Take off.